We are sitting here with Cajunb at ESL Season 7. We were just talking before starting recording that you have a busy schedule coming up. In 2 weeks you have Austin, you mentioned you have a qualifier. So you guys are just kind of hanging out in Texas for now?
Yeah. Tomorrow we're gonna go back to our the apartments when we were playing with Stan and Pete down in Frisco. We have where we were lived before when we were supposed to stay over here. And then the 24th and the 25th we have the NA ESL Cologne qualifier, and after that we're gonna go to DreamHack Austin and hopefully win.
It's kind of funny because you're one of the grizzled vets on Optic, and yet it's only been 3 months. I think you joined back in February. Has it been a crazy ride compared to joining other teams or having another structure? Has the dust settled for you guys?
I feel like the dust has settled now. I think the reason why some problems came up was because that Stanistar decided to public a letter. It was some problems I think should have been stayed inside the team. And of course it's not all of it which is true, and it's only from his perspective. And I'm of course really happy that even though he decided to public the letter, that the Optic fans is still supporting us, even though we just were a bad team. We were bad for each other, social and in game. So yeah.
The Danish scene in general has gotten a lot of hate recently, whether you look at North, you guys previously obviously now moving over to Optic. Where does a lot of that animosity from the scene come from? Because a lot of the backlash just seems to head y'all's way.
I think it's because we have some persons in the Danish scene which like to do some, Twitter drama, be a bit toxic, say things that people may don't like, be a bit salty, I guess, be a bit directly, and I guess not everyone likes that.
Is that an overconfidence and an arrogance that just kind of comes with being one of the top players, or?
I think that's just how certain people are, personal-wise. Me personally, I don't like to do a lot of drama. I'm not that type of guy. You can even see my social medias. I don't really write that much because I would rather have the results and interviews like this show who I actually am. So yeah.
Was it planned to have a full Danish roster again?
What do you mean when we decided to get rid of Peter and Chess?
Yeah.
Because
for a while there, Optic was kind of like a melting pot. You had Freiburg, and it was you kind of broke the mold of CS:GO, where you kind of have to stick with your nationality.
Yeah, when we decided to get rid of, I don't know how to explain it otherwise, Chess and Pete. We decided that we would go fully Danish because it would be a lot easier, communication-wise and definitely social-wise as well. So it was definitely the plan to go full Danish, yes.
What are the plans going forward now? Are y'all heading back into the EU scene and will be performing on the ESL Pro League EU side? I know you mentioned NA for Cologne, but I guess after that, what are the plans?
I cannot tell you the full thing yet because it's not. I'm not quite sure what we're gonna do yet. We might actually gonna stay and play the ECS NA if possible, but I do not know what the rules are yet. Because we have a full Danish team, and we are based in Europe. If we actually are allowed to play the NA ECS tournament or ESL, so I do not know for sure.
Do you have one preference or another to play on NA or EU side of brackets?
I would like to play the EU bracket, to be honest. It's not because you can say it sounds arrogant, I don't know, but I would like the tough way. Because we need to get used to play those kind of teams to actually be able to win tournaments like this in Dallas, ESL Dallas. So we need to get used to it.
Premier League kind of versus MLS in that sense a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. The NA scene is good, but the EU scene is better.